Today we're going over how to play an open F major scale, the latest in a series of open scales that I've been doing, which so far have included both C major and open G major. I'm Joshua Kenson, and if you're new here, this is Kenson Guitar Academy. I help new guitarists reach their musical goals. If that sounds like you, make sure to subscribe. Now, previously when we went over the open G major scale, we encountered our first accidental, a sharp. In F major, we encounter another accidental, a flat, B flat specifically. In this particular form, we encounter it both at the first fret on the 5th string and the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And just like that open G major scale, we're going to be able to play F major over a 2-octave range in this particular form. So let's go through this. We are playing this in first position, and all that means is any note that falls on the 1st fret will be played by my 1st finger, any note that falls on the 2nd fret will be played by my 2nd finger, any note that falls on the 3rd fret will be played by my 3rd finger. And in this particular case, no notes fall on the 4th fret, so we won't be using our 4th finger for this particular scale. F major starts on the 6th string at the 1st fret, that is F. Next, we move to our 3rd finger on the 6th string, G. Next, we have the open A string into the 1st fret on that A string, which is B flat. Up to our 3rd finger, that's the 3rd fret, C. Next, the open D string into the 2nd fret on that 4th string, that's E. And then finally we end that 1st octave on the 3rd fret on that 4th string, that is F. So let's go through that 1st octave again. That's F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So let's play over that 2nd octave now. So we have that F on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, F, the open G string, into the A on that 2nd fret, B flat on that 3rd fret. Now, one of the interesting things about this scale is we do not play the open 2nd string. Every other open scale that we played included all those open strings. We do not play the open 2nd string because the open 2nd string is B. We don't have a B in F major. There's a B flat, which we just played right here. So we skip over right from that B flat, no open 2nd string, right into the C. That is the 1st fret on the 2nd string, into the D, 3rd fret, open E, and then finally, F on that 1st fret. So again, that 2nd octave, F, G, A, B flat, skip over that 2nd string opened into the C, D, E, F. One more time, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. Let's ascend through both octaves now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and finally F. Once you feel comfortable playing through both of those octaves ascending, let's practice it descending. So starting at the top here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have F, E, D, C, into the B flat, A, G, F, E, D, C, B flat, A, G, and finally F. So let's play it a little bit faster, both ascending and descending. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 3, open. 1, 3, open. 2, 3, open. 2, 3, 1, 3, open. 1, back down. And 1, open. 3, 1, 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3, 1, open, 3, and finally 1. Great, but why did I call out numbers that time instead of the letter names? Well, I was calling out the fret number. One of the things that I think is important when you're learning these scales, and not only that, anything that you learn on the instrument, is approaching it from different angles, okay? So we can approach it from the perspective of the note name, right? That's where we're gonna learn where all the notes are on the fretboard, where that flat is in this particular scale. But we could also learn it from the perspective of finger number or fret number. In this case, both finger number and fret number would be the same because we are playing it in first position, but that changes as we start playing scales in different positions. I think it's important to get a broader image of what we're doing on the instrument. So think of it like you're looking at a sculpture, okay? But if you're only looking at the sculpture from one direction, you're not getting the side view, the back view at an angle. You're missing out on details. Approaching it in these different ways gives us a broader image of what we're actually doing. And because we're having to play it over and over in different perspectives, we are building that muscle memory faster as well. Now, what's also cool about this particular open form is it's going to relate to the first closed form scale position that I show people, which is usually G major or A major right in here. The shape in which, the pattern in which we are playing this translates right over to that. So if you learn the F major open scale really well, once you get into the closed shapes, it becomes really easy to transfer into that first closed position major scale, which I'm going to be making a video on soon. So if you want to check that out, make sure to subscribe. So we've now gone over open C major, open G major, and now open F major. What do these have in common? Well, they all follow the major scale formula. What is the major scale formula? Well, if you take a starting point anywhere on the instrument, let's take the second fret here, and then we follow the formula whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, we will end up with a major scale no matter where we start, okay? So what does whole, whole, half means? Well, we are talking about steps on the guitar, half steps, whole steps. So what is a half step or whole step? Well, let's take any point on the guitar. I'm gonna take this F sharp right here. If I move one fret higher or one fret lower, I just moved a half step either higher or a half step lower. A whole step, it's just double that. So a whole step from any point would be 2 frets away, 1, 2. Or the second fret to the open string in this case, okay? So let's follow that major scale formula starting from F, but I'm only gonna do it on one string now. So we're not going through each one of our strings, we're gonna stay on that 6th string. So we have F, and then we go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And that's gonna work anywhere. I could do that on the C, which is on the 5th string at the 3rd fret. So if I go, okay, there's C, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So now you can play any major scale from any starting position on any string. Now, obviously, just playing it on one string really isn't that efficient. That's why we go over different strings here, because it allows us to stay in a relatively same position over here, okay? So the main point is I want you to understand what these scales have in common. And what they have in common is they all follow the major scale formula. If you have any questions on this video or any guitar-related question, please leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer. And if you're a new guitarist, make sure to download my free PDF link down below, 13 things all new guitarists should do/know. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button to let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Joshua Kenson, and I'll see you in the next one.